All right, boys, how long has it been since the last Man United rant video? Okay, let's see. Right, 2 weeks. 2 trips to London in 2 weeks. 2 disappointing defeats. I'm on the edge, boys. I can't lie. It's happened again. Just like last season's Emirates game, United have fallen victim.
I just got to know what's going on with United, man. Like, is it just like there's so many problems on every level right now? It's been a pathetic start to the season, and I actually thought, I didn't say it in my preseason predictions, but I actually thought there's a chance that United could be finishing second behind City in the league this year, maybe even third, or no, like third or second, maybe even pulling into the first place spot. That was an outside chance. I didn't really expect anybody to beat City this year. But man, I really expected United, second year under Erik ten Hag. I expected them to kind of get it together, and so far they've done anything but that. It's been a miserable start to the year for them, and trust me, I know I have many United fans that I'm connected to now through this channel, and I know that they're in misery right now because it's one thing after another. If it's not the just horrid, putrid ownership of the Glazers, if it's not that, then it's the attitude of the players on the pitch. I mean, the guys just have such an attitude right now. And apparently, according to the sources that I'm following, and then you see Jadon Sancho not being on the pitch because Erik ten Hag says that he's not putting the effort in practice. You've got the constant complaining about officiating going on with guys like Bruno Fernandes, but yet somehow they're just giving up and conceding goals to teams like Tottenham and barely escaping over Wolves. It just seems to be a whole lot of problems going on early on in the season for this United club. And man, I hear players really are not responding to Erik ten Hag because he's a little overbearing and can be a little bit intense. And so it's just kind of like, what's going on with him? I hope that, Football Iconic, I know he's a United fan, so I'm interested to see his take on what's the state of United right now. It's just not been good to start off the year. And I can't put my finger on any one thing, but I've raised a bunch of issues just now that I think all play a factor in just kind of a moribund, miserable early season for Manchester United right now.
Them to an Arsenal comeback victory. This picture was all over Twitter after the Spurs loss, and for good reason too. Looks like the trend of losing to big teams on the road is back. Another so-called rival has humbled United by a 2-goal margin in as many weeks. I use the term rivals hesitantly because this team has others to worry about before calling these guys enemies. On the flip side, Arsenal were nowhere near their best, but there's a lot to be positive about. The side of rice they ordered showed up late, but it showed up nonetheless, and that's all that really matters. Of course, there is cause for concern on their part still, but I wouldn't stress too much. At least they're not Man United. Yo, what's going on, guys? Hope you're all doing well. I'm not. I'm Tinashe. Welcome back to the channel. Feel free to subscribe if you haven't. Who would have thought I'd be making a Man United video so soon after the last one? I truly had other things to do, but I'll tell you why. I've said this before, I think, but Arsenal Man United is probably my most anticipated game of the season in any given season, just because I grew up in that era where it was Arsenal, United, and everyone else. Those Ferguson, Wenger, Keane, Vieira classic era matches meant everything to me back then. I could go on about those days all day long, and I think I actually have on this channel already, but I'm just telling you why a loss in this fixture hurts.
Bro, you can see the pain in this man's eyes. Like, even when he's just talking normally, this is painful for him. And I'm not, I'm not excited about other people's pain, but I can see and I can relate as a Dallas Cowboys fan, I can relate.
So much to me. First things first, let's not lie, this was a really good match, neutral or not. It had everything. Everything but a red card and a pitch invader. I liked Man United's tentative approach to this match. Arsenal are way more drilled and fluid than them, they just simply can't go toe-to-toe. Which is a tough thing to say as a United supporter, but let's be real, that's where they are at this point. And even though the possession stats show 55-45, not a significant difference, if you watch the match, you would have seen Arsenal mostly in control and United mostly trying to bait Arsenal with safe, non-threatening passes when in possession. The counter was where it was at, and they found a lot of joy in quick breaks. Kai Havertz was trying his hardest to keep United in the game from early doors. This is a crazy miss, I can't lie. And my guy's hard work paid off when Rashford scored on the break. Great goal by Rashford. Terrible Havertz ball that led to the goal-scoring chance. This guy really can't seem to catch a break. Every time he steps on the pitch, he hand delivers ammunition for all of his ops. Arsenal confirmed that Partey could be out for several weeks, so the man's going to have to turn things around sooner rather than later. At the very least, his mistakes didn't cost Arsenal this time around. You look at the average positions of United, and you see what's been known for years by United fans. United are a left-heavy side in attack. It's astounding how predictable they've remained all this time. Meanwhile, in defense, our right side is basically free real estate. Every single one of Arsenal's goals came from moves that started off from their left and United's right. I mean, yeah, the second goal came from a set piece, and the third was off a quick break in the 101st minute, but still. Martin Odegaard is such a good captain. Obviously, he's a great footballer. We've known that since he was 15. The guy's just found a perfect place for himself at Arsenal, and I really wish I could be happy for him right now, but, you know... The guy does not hide at all. Arsenal are hit with a sucker punch, and he shows up almost right away to put things right. It was a great goal too. Martinelli and Nketiah do so well to work this goal. Meanwhile, Eriksen is over here wondering if his locker is still available down the road in Tottenham. My guy is distracted. VAR stole the show yet again. It gives, and it takes. But
yeah, see, that's the thing. I'm going to have to make a video as well trying to figure out VAR, because to me, it's a problem for me. Like I thought coming into this year, I thought something that I really admired about football as opposed to American football or American sports was I thought you guys had a really streamlined system of coming to officiating decisions with VAR. And I thought VAR, and I still do think VAR is a better system of helping the officials out in the match. But I've seen so many decisions get overturned this season. Afterward, it comes out that the VAR official got it wrong, and now I'm realizing there's still so much guesswork and interpretation that goes into these decisions because the rules. It almost not to get political, but it almost reminds me of like in United States politics where you've got people arguing the Constitution, and that's the whole like system is like we've got to actually argue and debate, and we come up with legal theories based on interpretations of the Constitution, which is an ancient document, which you have to, or not ancient, I mean, us Americans think 300 years is a long time, but you got to interpret that document, and then you have, everyone kind of has a little bit of a different interpretation of this specific thing. And you see that in VAR where it's like, do the officials actually agree on how you interpret the rule book? And I think like that's been a problem for me as I'm starting to get into this season, is starting to try to figure out, like, does VAR actually work at all? And is it actually better to have that human error in it? I think a lot of people want the romance of the game, so they like the human error. But, if you're the team getting screwed out of an important call, like, forget the romance of the game, forget the human error, which makes it, makes the game special. Like, I don't want to get screwed out of this call. I don't know. Those are some thoughts. I'm sort of ranting at this point because I'm trying to figure out what my stance is with VAR this season. And you can see the pain just oozing off this man. I feel for you, Man United fans. I really do. Let's get back into the video.
I will say that it was one of those games where a lot of the VAR decisions were really difficult. Almost all of them could have gone either way, and I don't think there would have been too much backlash. Havertz penalty? Yeah, he's already going down, but there is contact. Garnacho offsides? It really is so close. Højlund penalty call? I mean, yeah, to me that's a penalty. But I also see that happen to people like Salah and Heung-min Son almost every weekend. In the end, these are the types of calls that when they go against you, they are crimes against humanity, but when they're for you, justice is sweet. I just knew United were doomed after that Garnacho offsides. It was pretty much inevitable. I got a hit of nostalgia when I saw Johnny Evans come on. The guy deserves a lot of respect, and he's the only active United player that has won a Premier League. That was with Man United. 10 years ago, when he was brought into United during preseason, I was really under the impression that he was only going to be there for I don't know, coaching, motivational purposes, maybe as a dressing room presence. I was wrong. I do think he was being held in the build-up to Declan Rice's goal, but at the same time, he was doing a bit of holding himself. This is a non-story. I see people scapegoating him. Meanwhile, he was already tracking a man, and Harry Maguire is over here calling for a foul instead of closing down an attacker with a clear shot on goal. How? Look at the amount of space Rice has when the ball is played in, and look at how heavy Rice's touch is when he gets it. Are these boys playing patty cake or something? I'm gonna be sick. It's also very unholy of Jesus to send Diego Dallo to the Shadow Realm on God's day. There was no need for this. You already had the 3 points, my G. Can anybody tell me why Man United finished off a game at the Emirates with Leicester City's 2018 CB pairing? Overall, not the best day out for United. Arsenal were the better team, but let's be real, this Arsenal side is not very good at the moment. They still have a long way to go before they can get back to their best from last year. They were really sloppy at times yesterday, and that's pretty scary for United. I mentioned that United had joy on the counter in this match, but yet again, indecisiveness and poor movement from that front three cost them dearly. On a few occasions, Rashford was...
Yeah, and you know what? That's been my opinion this year with United. Has been Arsenal's not the same team that we saw last year. They're not the same quality that we saw last year. And if you look at Manchester United right now on the table, they're 11th on the table right now. Not at all what I expected. I expected them to be top of the table, first, second, or third for pretty much the entirety of the season. You see them with 2 wins and 2 losses. And, one of those wins coming against Wolves. And that's a game that, maybe they should have won that, but boy, they made that game look very close. It wasn't an impressive win over Wolves, to say the least. And you could argue that the penalty that wasn't given to Wolves actually cost Wolves a draw in that game. And you could take maybe 3 points away from United. And so, yeah, you haven't seen them have a great season, to say the least. They looked awful against Tottenham. They were complaining about some officiating in that game, but let's be real about that game. Tottenham outplayed United in that second half of that game. And so you just haven't seen the quality from Manchester United that I expected coming into this year. And so just looking at this table here, as I sort of try to, distance myself a little bit and try to from fandom and just kind of try to analyze it. And I just don't know. It's going to take a turnaround. I do think it's very possible that they catch fire in the mid part of the season towards the end of the year, and they actually catch back up and finish in that top 4. But now I've actually kind of got Tottenham finishing top 4. And has really stepped up and changed the way that they play over there. And so, just some things to think about as I'm trying to figure out where I stand with United this year. I'm going to go ahead and end the video here. It's interesting to just see Football Iconic's perspective. I just kind of wanted to get a feel for how he's doing right now with his team performing the way that they're performing. He makes excellent content. So go ahead and go follow Football Iconic. Go watch his videos, smash like on his videos. He puts a lot of work into videos, and he makes very high quality content on here. I've been very impressed with his channel. So I don't want to leave this video without shouting him out for the excellent content. And you guys, if you're praying kind of people, say a prayer for that man, because right now he's going through it. And yeah, if you enjoyed this video, go ahead and smash like on the video, subscribe to the channel. We are so close to hitting 20,000 subscribers. I'm also on Twitch now, trying to set up some live streams over there to interact with the community. So if you're on Twitch, you can go follow me, Luke Sports Academy on Twitch. I think that's the handle. And I'd love to see you over there. That being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.